All right. Hello. Welcome to the channel. I'm Alex. Today we're going to be talking about the possibility of your strengths being used as weaknesses, your strengths becoming your weakness, and how we can avoid that. God says this in the Bible, Jesus says in the Bible, and everything I say is not my own insight and not my own advice. I am just a young man who loves Jesus, and I'm pointing you to his word because I had to point myself to his word because I was lost. And every day I have to bear my cross. Every day I have to learn. Every day I am lost. I am imperfect. I am a sinner. And I just want to find like-minded men who are also imperfect sinners that are trying to be better each day. So, we'll start with a really well-known verse that I'm sure everyone listening has heard. Again, I tell you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for someone who is rich to enter the kingdom of God. Matthew 19:24. A very common verse used so often. And most of the time, when it is used in reference to riches and wealth. See, when we think about this verse, we're thinking about someone who is wealthy. That is how often it is used, and how money is an act of Satan, and how money can pull you away where you can idolize money instead of God. And that is true. But I think that it's so often picked up as riches and wealth, and we miss some of the most important riches that actually bring us to more sin and bring us further away than God than money does. Because it's not just financial wealth, it's all wealth. We are giving riches in many ways. In fact, people who have wealthy riches, they usually use the riches God gave them to get that wealth. That's intelligence, that's fitness, that's good looks, that's humor, that's social awareness. It's so many things. It's your strengths that make you a person. Those are your riches. And what this means, the reason it is so hard for those who are rich to get into heaven is because we so easily identify those riches as where we have gotten what we have gotten. We don't imagine it as God gave us these riches and God has given us everything. We believe these riches are something that we earned. We believe these riches are who we are, and we earn them through our own hard work, and everything that these riches have given us are ours because of hard-earned effort. Just as someone who uses money to buy something and then idolizes money because they believe, well, money gets me everything I want. It's the same concept, but it's often overlooked because you want to be confident. You want to say, this is who I am. You want to have these things because they're good things. It's good things to have these qualities, and God gave you these qualities. But Satan loves to use the things God gives you because that's how he acts in hiding. Satan is most powerful when he's in hiding. It's not when you see him approaching, when you know it's him, because that's easy for you to say, no, Satan, not today. It's when you believe that you're in the right. And he does that. He does that by using God's gifts that he's given to you. So I'm going to give you a couple verses to explain this. Jeremiah 9:23 through 24. Let not the wise boast of their wisdom, or the strong boast of their strength, or the rich boast of their riches, but let the one who boasts boast about this, that they have an understanding to know me. Now, this is the Lord speaking about the people of Jerusalem. At this time, they have forsaken the law, they have turned to gods, and they have idolized everything but the Lord. Because they believe these things have given them what they need. They believe that they don't need the Lord because they have what they need. But everything they have was given to them by the Lord. And we often do the same thing. Because see, the rich and wealth, they're frowned upon when they look down on the poor, right? Because it's judgment. It's judgment. And it's unfair. And it's disgusting behavior when a person of wealth boasts about their wealth. Not only boasts about it, but then also looks down at those who do not have it. Any man of God can look at that and say, that man has fallen. That man is lost. That man is idolizing something other than God. But are we not the same? If I'm smart, and I make fun of someone or I judge someone for being not as smart, isn't that the same thing? If I'm funny and I make fun of someone for not being funny, if I am socially aware, that's the big one. That's the hardest for me, is I think that I'm fairly socially aware. And when people aren't, when they say the wrong thing, when they're awkward, when they approach a situation not how I would, it's so easy for me to pick on them. It's so easy for me to say, what are you doing? And talk to my buddy and say, why did he do that? That puts me the same as a wealthy man looking down on the poor. And you do the same thing. We all do it because we're sinners. And it's a great example of how we were given these riches to do good by God. And instead, we use it to do bad. We use it to believe that we earned it. We earned everything. I've earned my friends because I know what to do in social situations. And that guy who doesn't know what to do, he's earned his lack of friends. Is that true? Or was I given riches by God and he has given me these friends? And I have no right to judge him because he has phenomenal riches in other ways that I need to be looking for. You see, it's so easy to take those good things and idolize them and see them as just as what they are and not as gifts from God. In 1 Corinthians 4-7, it says, "What do you have that you did not receive? And if you did receive it, why do you boast as though you did not?" And this is Paul writing to the churches. And if you're new to the Bible or if you're a veteran of the Bible, you'll understand that like 40% of the New Testament is just Paul ripping up the churches. And so this is one of his many hate mail to the churches saying, what do you have that you did not receive? And if you did not receive it, or if you did receive it, why do you boast as though you did not? Let me break that down for you. Because that is what I do every day, and that's what you do every day. That's what we do about our riches. We complain about what we don't have. We say we did not receive it. And then, if we did receive it, what do? We claim it as ours. We act like we didn't receive it. We act like we earned it. We act like it's ours. If I say, man, I really wish I was smarter, and then God gave me intelligence, you know what I'm going to say? I got there. I did that. It's so common for us to either say, hey, I want more, God, why didn't you give me this? And then once he does give me something, or I have something that he's always given me from the beginning, I claim it as mine. I act like he never gave it to me. And that's the problem, because what that does is that leaves us rooted in those things. It leaves us rooted in the things that make us shallow. And it's shallow because our roots are shallow. Our roots should be rooted to God. He is our anchor. He is our rock. And if we root deep, 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 deep in him, we cannot budge. And so I call you to the parable of the sower. Mark 4:18-19. The worries of this life, the deceitfulness of wealth, and the desire for other things come in and choke the word, making it unfruitful. That's in reference to the sower who throws soil on the ground, and it's shallow. It's shallow because there's a couple of feet and then there's rock. And so you are rooted to the wrong things. You're not rooted to God. Your roots go shallow, and then they're not able to dig deeper because you rooted to a rock instead of digging deeper to him, to the true rock. And therefore, you blow away. It also is talking about the weeds that grow. Because see, if you're a plant, if you're a crop that grows out on a crop and you don't bear fruit, what are you? You're a weed. And he's saying if you're rooted in the wrong thing, if you're distracted by the deceitfulness of wealth or riches, you're rooted in the wrong thing and you will not bear fruit. And what it says is it comes in and chokes the word, making it unfruitful. And you know why it says it chokes the word, making it unfruitful? It's not just talking about choking the word for you and making you unfruitful to where you become a weed that bears no fruit. What does everyone hate about weeds? Weeds kill everything else. It's invasive. It comes in and it doesn't allow the other plants to grow. What is a weed? It's something that takes the plant, takes the sun, takes the soil, takes the water from all the other plants, but doesn't bear fruit. It takes but gives nothing. And what it does is it takes away the word. It chokes the word from not just your own self, but others too. And as a man of God, we do this so often. We trust our riches. We look upon our riches. Society wants us to boast about our riches, to say we're a provider and we provide for our family. And on top of that, it wants to say, you want to compare yourself to other men and how you're more manly to them because of the riches you have. And that's not what we're called to do. Seek first in his kingdom, and the rest will follow. See, we're called to be providers. I'm a father, and I'm called to be a provider for my family. But God is the provider. God is the ultimate provider. And if I seek first him and his kingdom, the rest will come. I need to be rooted in him. I need to grow past the shallow rocks of riches and wealth, and I need to grow past it and not be distracted by the deceitfulness of riches and wealth, and go past it and get rooted to God. And you do too. And that is how you keep your strengths as strengths. And if you don't do that, your strengths will become weakness, and you will just be a weak man. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter about how strong you are, how good looking you are, how smart you are. You can boast about it and say you're greater than all the men out there, but you will always be weak. And this is something that I have faced for years. Even once I became a believer, I still clung to those things, thinking I needed them to show myself to the world. I'm big, I'm strong, I can make money for my family. I'm constantly feeling like my pride is being attacked, and I always feel like I need to show everyone what I can do to be a man. And none of that is going to help me be a man of God, and it's not going to help you be a man of God. So I ask you to remind yourself daily, not of the riches, but who gave you the riches. Identify the riches. Identify, because they are your strength, and they're going to help you understand your purpose and God's purpose for you. But also identify them, because they're also going to pull you away from God. Identify them so that you know your own kryptonite. You know what's going to pull you away from God, and remind yourself, these are not my riches. They were a gift from me, from God. And that's how you keep your strengths as strengths. Now, this is just a man who loves Jesus and is pursuing Jesus every day, sharing his word to other like-minded men who might find this interesting. If you enjoyed this, there's going to be another video that's a great follow-on about God's purpose for you. And it starts with understanding his overall purpose for all men. And then the second step is understanding your strengths. The riches we talked about today, we need to understand them so that you can put them to work as God intended and not as Satan wants you to. And so please follow in on that next video, and please stay tuned for more. Like and subscribe if you liked this, and praise the Lord each and every day. Thank you.